with our public hearing on the HVAC repairs. Should have asked Trish, you recording and everything?
Yeah, we have great here, so I'm not disappointed. I'm just gonna go over the repair reserve and meet the requirement of providing the public and Board of Education, mostly the public though, a public hearing on the fact that we would like to utilize some of the reserve funds. So we're gonna go through that right now, and there will be. This allows you to tell, this time it just goes over, and you guys have heard me say this again, I will talk fast this evening because you've heard me say it 100 times. A repair reserve, the purpose is to pay the cost of repairs, capital improvements, things that we didn't plan on breaking during the year. We do try to budget extra money. Sometimes things come in that are larger that may require more money that we would like to fix. And if we can do this and spend that money from the repair, we do not need voter approval to spend the money, but we do have to conduct a public hearing. In the event that we had a true emergency and we had to replace something and use funds from the repair reserve without a public hearing, we would then have to repay that over the next 2 years. So either way, I mean, the state does recognize that a repair reserve is used for those emergency situations. And I just wanted to give you an overview of that again. You'll get that again in a couple more months when we go through the reserve plan, okay? Go ahead. The usage, I just kind of wanted to go back since I've been back. This is the second time. We haven't used it before then, other than to move money into the capital reserve, which is great because we used that for the last project and we've used funds for the next project. But there was a public hearing in the fall of 2023. I asked the Board of Education if they would approve a transfer to replace the unit that is directly on top of this room. The next $35,000 is what we said we would max out to replace that air conditioning unit. The actual cost ended up being $31,877. The current balance of the repair reserve as of 6/30, so I didn't include the interest it earned last month, is $204,844.18. The purpose of the public hearing is to inform the stakeholders of why there is a need to spend funds from this reserve. The purpose this time again has to do with HVAC issues. It happens to be one of our oldest rooftop units, which is between the library and the business office. And we knew it was failing. That's not a surprise. We knew it. We were hoping that it could make it until 2027 with a new project. It just can't. What we've done right now is we've kind of put it through on its own controller so it can keep the business office, the front area of the business office and the counseling suite cool. And we feel it's important that it remain cool as we go through the fall. So right now, to get it to run, and there's no guarantee it's going to continue running, we kind of had to make some changes to it. But it is failing. It is the oldest rooftop unit we have. It can't keep up, so we need to replace it. The new unit will offer both heating and cooling. It comes with a 3-year warranty on coils and controls. It's from Train because we have that building automation system where we're locked into it. It's a 5-year warranty on the compressor, parts only, 10-year aluminized heat exchanger, parts only, and a 1st year on labor for the entire unit. I just felt that that was something that I would want to know as a stakeholder where I live, so we're not buying something and, you know, that's it. We do have it. It comes with a warranty. The proposal from Train for the unit itself is $24,704. We are asking the board this evening to approve an amount not to exceed $30,000, and that would cover any ancillary costs that may be identified during the replacement process. For example, if it needed a new electrical wiring, or if the voltage wasn't enough up there, we had to do something electrical, we would have extra money and we wouldn't have to come back to spend another $500 or $600. It means that if we go over 30, we would, and then I can also tell everybody when the project is done. I haven't ordered it yet because I wouldn't do that without the approval of the resolution in the board. So tomorrow I'll order it. During the 26-27 budget process, and I felt this was important also to talk about very briefly, is that we will be asking our voters to fund the repair reserve through the budget process for the 26-27 school years. Again, It is not required that the voters allow us to spend the money, but they do have to allow us to fund it. And we will write that referendum in the event that it's, allows us flexibility. If there's money left in that over that 4% that we can put in this repair reserve, obviously we would be conservative, but that's what we'll be doing. And if there are, if we're lucky enough that there are funds, we will. And again, I think that's it. Am I correct? It's a very simple process, very similar to the one we just did. We are using Train. We do use them. People will get to know me. They'll know I don't like Train because they have proprietary over the building automation system. Well, it would cost us $500,000 to change that out. That to me would be foolish, although I'd be really happy if we had an extra $500,000 to do that, but we didn't. That's why we're going through Train. All the systems, the work speaks together, it goes right in directly with the building automation system. It's the easiest thing for the district. So, does anybody have any questions at all?
The only question I have, you kind of answered, this is one unit that we were planning on replacing with the capital project anyway. It's just we're doing it now because it's failing. So, okay.
Yep.
That was the only question I had.
Yep. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Joanne. We're now ready to move into our regular meeting. Call the meeting to order. Could I get a motion to enter public session?
I'll make a motion to enter public session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're in public session. Could I get roll call, please?
Mrs. Jessica Will,
Here.
Mr. Luke,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Hopper,
Here.
Mr. Rock.
We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comments from the public on agenda items. Just a reminder for those members of the public in attendance, this is one of two opportunities afforded to members of the public to comment on or inquire about agenda items. Members of the public will also have an opportunity at the end of the evening's agenda to comment on matters not formally noted on the agenda. Public comments can also be submitted via the live stream or emailed to boecomments@menans.org. Anybody have anything? Or anybody online?
No.
Okay, then item F, approval of the minutes. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Menands Union Free School District accept the minutes of the August 11th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Business matters, action items, A, contracts for approval. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education of the Menands Union Free School District hereby approves the following contracts for the 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, action items 2025, 2026 tax warrant. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Menands Union Free School District accept the 2025-2026 tax warrant as listed. Whereas the Board of Education of the Menands Union Free School District has been authorized by the voters. Awesome. I was gonna be an overachiever, but I don't have to. That's fantastic.
Okay, just before we go to the vote, does anybody have any questions on this? This is just, after the assessments come in, this is the actual tax warrant that will be approved so that the taxes can be collected for the year. Any questions? Okay, go ahead and do the roll call vote.
Mrs. Jessica Will,
Aye, or yes, I don't know, what do we say?
either or, it's fine. Mr. Luke,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Rock.
Aye.
Motion has been approved. Thank you. Business office, action items, C, donations. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Menands Union Free School District accept the donations as listed. School supplies paid forward.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We want to thank Pay It Forward for the donation of those school supplies. I understand it was quite a big donation, so we really appreciate that, helping to get our kids supplied for the school year. So thank you to them. D, business office action items, reserve fund transfer. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Menands Union Free School District approve the transfer not to exceed $30,000 from the capital repair reserve to to the general fund to be used for HVAC repairs as discussed at the public hearing on August 25th, 2025.
Second.
Were there any questions? I know we had a chance during the presentation, but. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Personnel items. Item A, rescinded acceptance of 0.5 aid. Could I get a resolution, please? I'll
B-
have them read it then. Go ahead.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the resolution to rescind the acceptance of the .5 aid position for Shauna Stack, effective immediately upon approval of the board.
Second.
So over the month of August, our special education needs in the middle school have shifted and have become such that they are more significant than they were at the time when we approved this. So it is my recommendation that Shauna Stack, who was originally going to be placed in the middle school as an aide to help with some behavioral support, be actually reassigned, you'll see next, to her teaching assistant position, where she is able to help with instruction and teaching practices and help students who are struggling academically.
Are there any questions on that? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, rescinded resignation, TA position. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the resolution to rescind the letter of resignation from Shauna Stack, effective immediately upon approval of the board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item C, personnel agenda. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approves the personal agenda items as listed.
Second.
Are there any questions on this list? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, club sports and advisors. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the following individuals on the attached sheet as club and sports advisors for the 25-26 school year in accordance with the MAT contract. All hours will be submitted and approved via timesheets.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, substitute teachers fully cleared. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approves the substitute teachers for the 2025-2026 school year as listed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, staffing. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District hereby grants Superintendent Jennifer Canavo the authority to appoint employees with the understanding that the Board of Education will take final action at the next Board of Education meeting.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions about this? We don't have any anticipated openings left. This would just, if any positions do open that need filling between now and the school year, we want to make sure that we start the year fully staffed. This just gives Mrs. Canavo the ability to hire for those positions and would be granting the permission retroactively. Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, unpaid leave of absence, child rearing leave. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District approve the unpaid leave request from Destin Parsons from October 24th, 2025 to December 14th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Sorry, Benny.
Oh, no, she actually was out in September, but the board only has to approve the unpaid portion of it.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Okay, motion carries. Item 5, superintendent program recommendations, CSE, CPSE recommendations. Could I get a resolution, please?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Manans Union Free School District hereby approves the CSE, CPSE recommendations as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, student matters enrollment update. Looks like we're back up to the 301, so we were down in the 200s for a hot minute there, but
304.
okay. I see, yep, there's some here in progress. Kindergarten, good thing we did 2 sections, so up to 38. Okay, that takes us to administrative updates, principal's comments. This is why I read.
So we had a great summer with some summer programs back here. Last year, our summer programs were out and about because of the building renovation. So it was really nice to have the kids back here. So we had our ESY program was going on. So we had our 3 self-contained rooms. We're here for 6 weeks in the middle of the summer. Ms. Kozlowski does a great job running those programs. So I just want to thank you for all your work around that. The kids had a really good summer. Those kids come throughout the summer in order to not lose out on any instruction, lose out on social emotional skills they might need in order to enter the year in a good place. Ms. Kay set up swim time for them at the Wilford's Roost, so thank you to the Roost for doing that. That was an event, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, they had a great time doing that, and I think they had another field trip.
They did a couple other things, and like they had a theme week.
Yes.
So they had like pizza week, a movie week.
Yeah, camping, so we had tents outside,
Oh,
posted up outside here, the kids were in the tents, they made s'mores, you'll see some pictures of that. So the ESY program was going on, as well as our Tiger Learning, so that was back here as well. And that was 4 weeks long, and that was our students, where students are invited in order to brush up and encourage, continue their learning with their math and their ELA specifically. They did a lot with our core. That was our new ELA program that we just adopted. So we bought a summer program for that in order to continue that learning. They spent a ton of time outside investigating bugs and looking at life cycles. And you'll see some of the pictures, they're in the woods trying to identify habitats and ask questions about why the habitat is the way it is. So they did a lot of hands-on learning outside connected with their ELA and math programs. So here's just some pictures of them. Yep, we got the pool out. Oh, the police officers came and ESY got into the police cars. They were pressing the horn. Yeah, she's loving the horn. It's going great for her. But yeah, horn is going off constantly. So it was an interesting, PJ loved it. The sirens, yes, the siren, yes. There we are in the pool. The 10th day we had here. And this is our Tiger Learning. These are our students. This is our older group. They were out and about investigating their chosen animals and their environment. The younger guys there with their little magnifying glasses looking at habitats. At the end, each class did a project or a presentation, and they had like an open day where various classes went to different classrooms and they taught each other about what they learned over the summer. One of the classrooms in the stats room actually created a diorama with like the environment of the animal they researched. We also had quite a few of our L's here. So Ms. Catini had a room full of our ENL students to continue language support over the summer, and Ms. Stack had a mixed group and had quite a few kids with her as well. So, but they all spent some time together outside and working together on the art stuff. Kindergarten Warm-Up Week was a great success. The number of compliments that we get about that program that has been going on for a very long time, I'm assuming, is amazing. Parents are so grateful. They are just so grateful that their kids get this opportunity to be here during the day and get to see their class and the teacher before everything, starts. So I think it's really important. It's they've been riding the bus driver was great. Trish and I ride along with them at some point and meet all the parents and make sure that they know their bus stops when they have any questions. So it's really a great week. The kids were excited. A lot of them were ready to go. They were like ready for school. So we have some really prepared kindergartners. If you haven't seen our art room yet, we have some upgrades to our art room. So if you get a chance to pass by that, it's beautiful. The tables are really beautiful. Mr. Dodson has set it up really nicely, has some great storage. The kids will really be able to do some great work there. So we're very proud of that space. Our theme this year is going to be around the energy bus. So the energy bus is a book by, I think it's John Gordon is his name. And it is about, there's a children's version of it. And the classrooms will have the children's version. I also shared on a memo that I sent home, the author reading it out loud on the YouTube video. So if parents can share the video with their kids before they come in, so they can see what the energy bus is about. And essentially, the energy bus is about a little boy who gets on the bus and he had a bad day at school, and Joy is the bus driver, and Joy is going to give George, who's the kid having a bad day, the rules of the energy bus. And it basically is about, you're the driver of the bus, like you get to choose your path, you get to choose your direction in life. If you focus and you put your attention on the right and positive things, you'll be able to make some good choices for yourself. It talks about energy vampires, people who will kind of suck energy from you rather than pouring into you, and looking for those energy vampires and trying to avoid them. It talks about loving your passengers, loving the people that are on the bus with you. And our goal is to, have fun and enjoy this ride, but also learn to love and treat each other with respect as we're all on this bus ride together. The teachers are going to do some work around it. We got the books for the teachers, and they'll read it, and the kids will have the children's book in the classroom. And we'll do when I do assemblies. A lot of the assembly focus will be on this. Morning announcements, you'll hear a lot about this, and students being able to take little pieces with them during the day in order to kind of shape our theme for the school. We had a ton of teachers working over the summer. They work so hard. They work all year, and then a lot of them put in a lot of hours. So this group of teachers took our advanced responsive classroom course. So responsive classroom is our SEL program. It is also our tier 1 of classroom instruction. It is really like who we are as a school. Every teacher that comes through this school is trained in responsive classroom. And these teachers got trained in responsive classroom 1, and they wanted to go into an advanced course in order to really hone their skills. So this group, I tease Mr. Bluesky because she looks like the lead singer of like a band, right? Or Bluesky and the RCEttes or something. So they went to, they went all the way to Delaware to take this course, and spend some time coming together as a team and also learning a lot to bring back to our school. Our hope is that this group is going to become some experts in building some model classrooms that other teachers, new teachers can go to and learn from. We also had, I think that's my last slide, right, Trish? No, okay. We also had teachers, our brand new teachers have taken the RC1 course. We also had, I think it was somewhere around 600 hours of curriculum work being done over the summer. So teachers spent a lot of time digging into the new math curriculum, looking back at the art core curriculum, doing some SEL work. So they worked exceptionally hard over the summer. Coming up, we know we got Labor Day, Superintendent's Conference days are the 2nd and the 3rd, and then our first day of school, we're off to the races. Any questions? We're excited.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Wiley. Before we get to miscellaneous, I should have asked on enrollment update. What's our wait list for pre-K? You know?
We're at 1.
Okay, Stella.
We've had
that's
some
good.
movement in pre-K already over the summer.
What's, say that again?
We had 3, but we've already had some movement.
Oh, okay. Okay, and is our Riverside Collaborative full with placement? I know what you said at the end of last year
The
that you thought it
2
would be.
K2 rooms are full. The 3-5 room had 10 to 11 out of 12,
Okay.
but we're kind of leaving that just in case there might be some movement and, so if not, I'll put it out to the other districts. For now, pretty full, yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that takes us to miscellaneous. So this is a chance for board members to ask any questions, share any information, community information, or propose items for a future board agenda. Does anybody have anything? Don't think I do either, actually. Okay, so our second public comment. During public comment sessions, members of the community may address the board on agenda and non-agenda items. Does anybody have anything? Is there anybody online? Okay, we do not expect to take executive session. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.